Hi, we're Pastor Dave and Dee Dee Thompson from Gateway Ministries in Golden, Colorado. We are actually Casper and Cheryl's pastors.
Isn't that wonderful? Casper and Cheryl with IAM Love Builders. They not only attend our church, but you know what else they do? They conduct marriage workshops, they conduct retreats, and they provide marriage counseling for our whole church family. Very powerful and life-changing.
Hello, everyone. This is Cheryl and Casper Stockham here from IAM Love Builders. We are so glad that you've tuned in with us today.
Yes.
Welcome. And we'd like to give a great big shout out to our broadcast partners. Thank you so much. IAM Love Builders is a show that's dedicated to all things dealing with relationships and communication. Our heart's desire is that your marriage and your relationship will thrive and flourish. So we provide content so that you may become an MVP. That's the most valuable partner in your marriage or relationship. Here at IAM Love Builders, we firmly believe that if you are not having fun, you are not doing it right.
No doubt about that. Hey, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors. So we actually have a TV show into a second season called Winning with Love. And you can access that on Zondra TV Network. That's Zondra TV Network. And I'm super excited to be in season 2 of Winning with Love. We also have a lot of media services we provide with Zondra TV Network, from TV advertising to promotions to podcasting. We can do all those things through that network. We also have a micro network that we can actually take someone's pre-existing programming and put it up on the micro network.
That's right.
So they can get additional exposure for their program, get some additional eyes on it and stuff. Maybe it's kind of stagnant or whatever. We can give it new life.
That's right.
By putting it on the micro network. We also have Go Shop America that's going to be coming online here, I believe, here in about a month or so. This is a great place for smaller businesses that might have not a huge supply of product, but they want to move it. Let's say they have maybe 10, maybe 100 of something, whether it's books or courses or whatever, they can offer it through Go Shop America.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at a pretty good rate. So ask us about that service. Now, we are excited, so we're probably going to come back to this because we have a MVP Champion online summit coming up on Valentine's Day.
Yay! So
Valentine's Day falls on a Saturday this year. This is the perfect opportunity for you to get some training before you go out and celebrate in the evening with your loved ones. So stay tuned for that. This is a free training.
Yes, it is.
Right. So a lot of great stuff going on with the MVP Champion Summit. We got great speakers, you got prizes and all that stuff. You're going to be hearing a lot about that coming up. We also have a book series that we have out there called Mastering Adam, Mastering Eve, and Mastering Adam and Eve. It's a book series. So on Amazon, you have to buy them separately, but through our website and through our MVP Hub, you can get them as a set. Okay. And you can get them cheaper as a set as well. So this is our Love Hub. This thing is I'm so excited about it because all the stuff we do is now collated or collected within the Love Hub. Mm-hmm. They can get access to our TV show, our podcasts. There's ebooks on there. There's quizzes. And just, it's a God-centered community, very similar to Facebook, but we control the content. So, you're not going to get crazy stuff in the hub. Right. It's a great place for couples and singles to go. So definitely check the Love, and it's free. So check out the MVP Love Hub. So our sponsors for the show are Texas All-Stars. These guys do crypto mining. And I had no idea what crypto mining was in the beginning. A buddy of mine called me, told me about it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I looked into it. I'm like, okay, this is different than crypto investing. And crypto mining is totally different. You really need to look into it. It's a great way to, you know, everything comes with a degree of risk and stuff, but having a crypto miner is way different than investing in crypto. You can lose a lot of money investing in crypto.
Yes.
In crypto mining, you get these coins mined every day on your behalf. So I got a miner, and I started to share the program. And then you're like,
I got a miner.
I need to get one of those.
Yes, absolutely.
So my daughter has a miner now. Two of my sisters have
miners.
Yeah. So it's a great product to look into. So look into that, scan that QR code, and check it out. All right. So we had some guests for today, but they, most of you probably know there's like blizzards and snowstorms and cold weather going on
across the country. As a matter of fact, we have snow as well. We just happened to look outside and it's like, whoa.
Yeah, it's starting to snow outside. So here, but our guests are in the middle of some the weather and stuff, and
one of them wasn't feeling well.
Yeah, the husband wasn't feeling well, so we rescheduled them, and we're excited to talk to them here in the next couple of weeks. But the professionals that we always are prepared for these these kind of situations. So over the months, we get questions that come in to us, and we use these times to kind of talk about those things, right? So we're going to spend some time answering some questions.
All right.
Folks. But before we do that, I want to go back and talk about this. Go back and talk about our Champion Summit. So this is our second annual summit.
Do we have a little video or something to show maybe?
During the break, yes.
Okay.
We're going to show a video.
Okay.
So this is our second annual summit, and we have 5 experts and couples that are going to come on and share from their perspective. They're going to share about communication,
finance and budgeting,
conflict resolution, sex and romance, and then a couple other things, fun and family fun and stuff like that. A couple different topics, but these folks are speakers that have spoken on many other stages before. So we're excited to have them as part of it. In fact, you'll see some of their promotions coming up during the break.
Very good.
Yeah.
So we invite you to please come and tune into the summit. Like we said, it's going to be on February the 14th, which just happens to be Valentine's Day. It will be from noon to 3. That's Eastern Standard Time.
Correct.
So you'll want to adjust for whatever time zone that you're in. And if you go to IamLoveBuilders.net, you can register.
Yep. Yeah, you go to IamLoveBuilders.net, and right at the top of the page is a green button. Click on that green button to register for this MVP Champion Summit. Now, this is a free summit, right?
Yes.
This is free information, but it's coming from experts in the industry. So you definitely want to check this out, and just make a day of it, right? So hang out with us in the morning.
That's right.
And then plan something really nice with you and your spouse in the evening. This will be the Valentine's Day that you can mark on your calendar. Like that's when things really started to change for us in our relationships. All right. So we're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, we're going to get into some of the questions that have been coming up over the past few months for our program. And we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back in just a moment.
When conflict shows up in your relationship, do you fight to win or fight to understand?
That's deep. Because unresolved conflict never disappears. It shows up in all types of your communication, intimacy, finances, and the way we live.
This Valentine's Day, we're honored to be panelists for the I Am Love Builders MVP Online Summit.
And our topic will be conflict resolutions, how couples can move from tension to teamwork. Join us for free. RSVP now at www.IamLoveBuilders.net.
See you there.
Bye-bye.
All right, we are back with the I Am Love Builder Show with Casper and Cheryl. And like I said, our guest for today
They had to
had to
reschedule.
reschedule.
One of them wasn't feeling well, and so we said, okay,
Yep, not a
well,
problem.
we'll just pivot.
We'll pivot. So, got some great questions here that have come in over the months. This was really good. This is for couples, right? So we have questions for couples and for singles. So we're going to be going through both of those throughout the show. So this one is, how do we make sure we're growing spiritually together and not apart?
That's a very good question.
Yeah.
I would say you would want to be very much intentional and make sure you do spiritual things, involve some spiritual things within your calendar, within your day to day. Go to church together. Maybe take some churches, especially some of the large churches and medium-sized churches. They have what they call small group ministries. And it's basically Bible studies that people within the church, leaders within this church, open up their homes. You have a group, because we used to be a part of one, and they did it according, well, our church at the time did it according to zip codes. So you found whichever meeting place was happening in your zip code, you get together, and it gave us an opportunity to study the Word of God together, to learn new content together, and grow. I would also suggest getting a book, reading a book, and doing a book study, just the two of you, as well as morning devotions. Make sure you have prayer time, not just when there's an issue, but try to schedule prayer time. I know everyone's schedule is a little different. Like for us, I get up a lot earlier than Casper.
Yeah, way early.
So it may be in the evening where we might get together. But those are some ideas. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, I think that being unequally yoked is a real thing. The Bible talks about it, the challenges that come with it. I think that in the beginning, you and I were, we were not unequally yoked, but we were kind of on two different spiritual
planes. So understand that being unequally yoked doesn't necessarily mean that you're both not spiritual, or one's Baptist and one Catholic. You can still be the same and be in the same church and have the same beliefs, but just be at different levels, different degrees of intensity, of intentionality, of how you worship.
Yeah. And one thing I wanted to point out, though, is that I never wanted I wanted to make sure that just because we weren't necessarily on the same spiritual plane, it didn't interfere with our marriage. It didn't cause any rift within the marriage. Right. So I always supported you in your walk and in your ministry and stuff, so you did a lot of speaking a lot of times, and I would go to support you. Right. And so you have to really be intentional, like you said earlier, about your spouse. You want to make sure that you are really focused in on your spouse and their spiritual walk as well, and supporting it.
Yes.
Even if it's a different potential sect or religion. I wanted to tell a quick story about some friends of ours years ago. He was non-denominational Christian, and I believe she was Seventh-day Adventist or something like that, or
Jehovah's Witness,
something like that. But they were at odds, right? She'd go to her thing, and he'd go to church with, and on Sundays she'd go on Saturdays or whatever. They were very unequally yoked, and it was pulling them apart. But she showed up at church one day. She showed up at our church, and he didn't handle it well as a Christian. He should have embraced her and the kids, and it should have had a very, a moment, right? It should have been a moment where they came together.
Right. So, you don't let it tear you apart.
Right.
I mean, first of all, my thing is always, when it comes to being single, those are things you need to talk about in the beginning.
Yeah.
But in case you forgot or you didn't think it was going to be a big deal, don't let it divide you. And I think in their situation, they didn't embrace the differences, and that their love for each other outweigh that.
Right. Right.
They let it pull them apart.
Right.
It became a source of contention when it didn't really have to be.
Mm-hmm.
And the point that I want to make is that, like you said, we started at different levels, but in time we did come together to the same level.
Well, yeah,
and had we made it
an issue,
and let it divide us, look how much of what we would have missed out on.
Exactly. But the reason why we were able to do that is because we had the same focus at the top. It was always God at the top.
Right.
Even though we were on different spiritual planes, if you will, those planes all led to God.
Right.
So the closer we got to God, the closer we got to each other, and we were able to pull it together, to where we're like literally on the same page all the time now when it comes to
and
our
we learn
walk.
from each other during that time. That's what helped bring us together. We weren't so dogmatic or closed-minded that it had to be my way and only my way.
Exactly.
It was like, okay. And then you let God bring it together.
Right.
You invite him in, which is another thing, because you always ask couples, well, where's God?
Where's God in your relationship? Yeah.
Because if he's in the relationship, he knows how to tear down the walls of division.
Right.
If you allow him, if you're open, and if you let love be your guide.
Right. I mean, we're commanded as Christians to love our enemies.
Right.
So if we're commanded to love our enemies, we definitely should be loving each other.
Absolutely.
That's husband and wife and our children and everything else. So it is very fascinating sometimes to watch Christians who aren't loving their spouse the way they should be.
We got some comments over here. It's like Antonio is, and so people are sharing some of their stories in the chat. So this is pretty good. Thank you.
Exactly. Appreciate those comments. So we're going to actually take a quick break here, and when we come back, we're going to answer a question for the singles. So let me see. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will get into a single question.
And we will want to save some time so we can maybe talk about some of the comments in our chat.
Yeah. Especially if there's a question in there. We're going to read those here in a second. All right. You are watching I Am Love Builder Show. Casper and Cheryl. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Hello, everyone. Casper and Cheryl Stockham here. And guess what? Something awesome is coming. On February the 14th, from noon to 3 Eastern Standard Time, I Am Love Builders presents its MVP Champion Online Love Summit.
Absolutely. Now, this time is going to fall on Valentine's Day on a Saturday. So you get free training during the day, and then you get to go out in the evening and have a good time with your spouse. Just make a day of it. Make it something special. This is going to be a special day. We've got great speakers lined up for you, great topics. You're going to learn a lot. There's prizes, there's giveaways. So what you want to do is RSVP at IamLoveBuilders.net. You click on the green button at the top, and we'll see you in the summit. All right, we are back with Casper and Cheryl, and I Am Love Builders. We are answering questions that have come in over the past few months from our viewers, and we were getting ready to head into a single question, but we had a comment in the chat you wanted to talk about.
Yes, one of our viewers said that his wife was Mormon, and he was non-denominational, born-again believer.
Wow.
And she came to his church, and he said he embraced her coming.
Right.
Which is, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. So he embraced her coming, and I guess eventually she got saved and later baptized. And so here they are now.
8 years later.
8 years later, happily married on the same. So that's why I'm saying
that's how you do it.
I mean, this pretty much you don't let it divide you.
Love should bring you together,
right?
Even if you're worshiping different denominations, hopefully there's love in both,
right?
And hopefully that love will bring you closer together,
right? And if you just believe, God is the source of, He is the author of love.
Yeah.
So Yeah, so I guess that's the key thing is don't let it tear you apart.
Correct.
It's not meant to tear you apart. We can work around it.
Correct. Okay, question for singles. What is the difference between chemistry and real compatibility?
Oh, that's a
Between
good one.
chemistry and real
So
compatibility.
chemistry to me, this is my definition. Chemistry is more of emotion and feeling, I would say, as opposed to a true relationship, which is it has emotion with it, but the center of it is stronger.
Yeah.
It's like using a string to pull a pole or using a thick rope to pull a pole. If you're having a relationship, you got something stronger. It's solid.
The chemistry to me is more aesthetic, is more of initial attraction.
Right, right. Yeah.
It's just like you have this chemistry. Wow, she's pretty. Wow, he's handsome.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
But will that hold up when you get that first bump in the road?
No, well, most times it doesn't. That's the compatibility part.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though someone is physically attractive, it doesn't mean you're compatible. It just means that they're attractive. You start hanging out with them, and you realize that they're into smoking and you're not.
Well, yeah, they could be attractive on the outside,
right?
But does their inside is that attractive?
Exactly, and the chemistry is typically more of a physical type emotion type of thing to me. Whereas compatibility is when you start to really get to know that person,
right? And you're on the same level. You're on the same plane. It's you, so that when the bump in the road does come, it's solid.
Yeah,
you can work with that.
Right.
Chemistry, you might say, "Oh, well, you're not as cute as I thought you was." Exactly. I changed my mind.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's very physical to me, and compatibility is just like we were talking about being equally yoked just earlier. That's the compatibility side. Whether you guys like the same type of sports or same type of activities, you both like to go hiking or whatever it is, that's compatibility, right? You both believe the same. You both have the same political persuasion, or whatever. That's compatibility. All those things really help bond you in a marriage or relationship.
Right. You want something that's solid, so that when the unexpected happens, it doesn't bring about a rift.
Yeah.
It doesn't tear you apart. You want something that 35 years from now, when you're no longer a size 6, but you're a size 16.
Yeah.
It's still there.
When the chemistry starts to not be so chemistry.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the best way to know is to spend as much time as you can with that person.
Right.
So don't
you got to get past the chemistry part. Not to saying starting out chemistry is good.
Yeah. But
you want to be able to get deeper, more down to the root, to the surface, and not just stay on the surface.
See, so that's what it is. Chemistry is a surface, right? And compatibility is more underneath, right? When you start to really get to know the person, you get to meet their family and their friends, and you find out what their likes and dislikes are. That's when you start to find out if you're compatible or not.
Right. I just had a flash of an old movie when is it I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker, or something? Where he texted him in this beautiful woman, and so they get to the bedroom.
Oh, she started taking off parts.
She takes off her eyelashes, she takes off her wig, and then she takes off her boobs, and everything. Everything about her was superficial.
Yeah, and that's what the chemistry is. Is superficial. So you really, it's okay to be. We're not saying that
there should be no chemistry,
right?
But you should be able to get past chemistry and get deeper.
If you want to have a lasting relationship, you got to get past the chemical,
the
chemistry.
Yes, the surface part. You got to get down to the root deep.
Absolutely.
Because life is going to happen.
Life is going to happen, and it's going to be interesting. Yeah, and it's funny because I've seen people just but she's so beautiful, and he's that, and
he's so handsome.
And,
and then you get to hang out with him and find out he's not very pleasant.
No, not a nice person. Yeah,
and you get to hang out with her and find out that she's not very pleasant either. So you want someone that chemistry is nice, but you want more than chemistry.
And you know what happens on the chemistry side, and I can relate to this in my BC life before Cheryl. The chemistry side was so powerful, and you got into these physical relationships, and then you find out that you're not compatible after the physical. Now you got soul ties going on. Now you got all kinds of emotions, all this stuff boiling up, and you say, but we don't even, we're not even on the same page on anything other than that little physical activity for an hour or two or whatever. And now for the next 22 hours, you don't like each other.
Right.
You're not compatible.
That's a waste of time.
But that's where people are at. That's what they do. And that's what I did until I was saved by the sweetie.
You woke up?
I woke up. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to get into more of these questions. And let me see. We're going to take a break here and watch this. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Oh, it's Janine Emily.
And Mr. Tracy Lee Smith.
Hosts of the national TV show Rockstar Diaries, healing out loud with heart, humor, and harmony.
And founders of Hearts and Sing Productions.
Casper and Cheryl, thank you so much for having us on Winning with Love. What an incredible experience. You two just create such a loving, safe, and joyful space where real stories can be shared with honesty, laughter, and heart.
Yes. Your mission to lead with love is exactly what the world needs right now. And it was an honor to be a part of a conversation that uplifts, inspires, and reminds us that we're all connected.
We walked away feeling encouraged, seen, and even more fired up to spread hope and healing through our own work.
If you're looking for a show that truly lives up to its name, Winning with Love is it.
Casper and Cheryl, thank you again for shining your light so brightly. We are grateful.
All right, we are back with I Am Love Builder Show, Casper and Cheryl, and we are answering questions for our couples and for our singles.
All right.
So we had a couples question earlier and the singles question earlier, and now we're back to the couples again. So this question is, what are signs that our marriage needs outside help or counseling? What are the signs?
Well, it's truly up to you because it doesn't necessarily always have to be when your marriage is in trouble.
Right.
Sometimes you just might have a little sticking point that you need to help get over, or you just need a little injection, a little outside perspective on some things. But I would say, truly, if the marriage is getting to the point where it's hostile,
you definitely
toxic, or you feel like your life is in danger, you definitely, absolutely, you need to get professional counseling.
You need emergency help right away.
ASAP.
Yeah. But I'm thinking of this question not so much from that's like 911 kind of stuff.
All right.
I'm thinking about really as soon as even before you get married, you need help.
Oh, yes.
You see what I'm saying?
And it's always so good to have premarital counseling.
Right. This process should start before you get married. You should have outside help and counseling. You should have other people that you're introducing your potential spouse to, that you trust their opinion about the individual. Because I can think of situations where people were not, I wouldn't say it, maybe embarrassed or not willing to bring their potential spouse around us
Mm-hmm.
because they're like, well, if they are hesitant on introducing their spouse to their friends,
Mm-hmm.
then that's a red flag.
Yes, it is.
Right? We talk about red flags all the time. So yeah, premarital counseling before the marriage.
Or just if you have a little issue you all can't seem to agree on. Counseling doesn't have to last forever. It could be
Right.
one session, it could be 3 sessions.
Yeah.
But if you get to a point that, okay, we got a bump here in the road and we're having trouble getting over this bump,
Mm-hmm.
or we keep hitting this same bump over and over again and not getting past it,
Yeah.
then before it becomes very intense, then yes, I would say bring in some coaching, counseling,
Yeah.
to help you out.
And like you said, sometimes it's just as simple as asking a question or two.
Right.
I have another good friend of mine who got into a debate with his. They're not married, but they're living together,
Mm-hmm.
and they were out, and he did something that he thought was being very protective and chivalrous,
Mm-hmm.
and she thought it was not. And when he started to explain the situation to me, I'm not going to go into details, but when he started explaining to me, I'm like, so why did you do that again? And he explained why he did it. I said, that was not the right move, brother. You didn't know. That is not what you should have done. You should have done the exact opposite of that. He's like, really? I thought yeah, I know you thought. And then he put his lady on the phone, did like a what do you call it? Put on speakerphone.
Uh-huh.
And he said that Casper agrees with you that I was wrong, and he apologized to her while we were on the phone. So he kind of made it right, but he said, man, he was convinced. He was calling me to get confirmation of his move, and I'm like, that was a bad move. So,
well, I was thinking about when we did our premarital counseling, a couple, a pastor and his wife, and they'd been married 50 years or so, 50 plus years.
Yeah.
And we did our marriage counseling with them.
Mm-hmm.
I think we did, I don't know how many, 6 weeks maybe or something like that.
Yep.
But they took us through various different scenarios. And not so much telling us what to do, but saying, did you consider this?
Mm-hmm.
Did you think about this? How are you guys going to respond if this scenario happens?
Right.
Because sometimes they're just things you don't think about. You're in love and you're making googly eyes, and he just takes your breath away, and and all you think about is
chemistry.
Yes. So all you can think about is we're going to get married, and you're planning the wedding, and you're planning the honeymoon, and you don't think about what happens the day he gets home from the honeymoon, he loses his job. What are you going to do now?
Yeah,
we know that because we had it happen to us.
Exactly.
But what happens when you look and you're both sitting on the sofa because you both got laid off?
Right. You know what that feels like too.
Yes.
So what do you do?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So for us, we didn't blame each other. We leaned into each other, and it worked out.
Right.
But
they took us through scenarios like that so that we can kind of get your head down out of the clouds. Mm-hmm. Let's think realistically here. Mm-hmm. Let's think life, because life is going to happen.
Right.
And that was good because that gave us something to talk about. We can look at each other and say, what are we going to do if we both lose our job? What are we going to do if we have our first child and one of them and the child has special needs? What are we, because sometimes these things catch us off guard, and we're not that we're always going to be prepared, but we kind of fall apart.
Yeah.
And so I like what you said, we leaned into each other.
Yeah. Another aspect to this question is, for me is, you should always be working on your marriage from beginning and into it and start. There's never a time that you should not be working on your marriage.
I agree with that.
So sometimes it doesn't mean that's outside help. It could just be a book.
Yes.
It could be a workshop. It could be watching, our show, something like that. But you should always be doing something to enhance your marriage and relationship.
Right.
And that's why we have our MVP program, because you could 5 minutes a day. If you plugged into our MVP Love Hub just for 5 minutes a day, just went to the hub and looked around and clicked on some stuff and took a quiz or whatever, just 5 minutes a day would enhance your marriage and relationship.
Listen to some content.
Yes.
And,
absolutely.
And have a discussion with it.
Right.
I agree. Always be working.
Always be working. Yep. All right. So we're going to take another break here. When we come back, we're going to answer some more questions from our viewers. And you are watching I Am Love Builder Show with Casper and Cheryl. We'll be right back in just a moment.
How many of us wished we bought Bitcoin early? We hear it all the time after the latest huge price surge. I wish I'd gotten in sooner. I wish I'd stocked up before the price took off.
Crypto markets are in the green this morning as Bitcoin hits yet another record high today.
The truth is, the real path to crypto wealth isn't chasing big price jumps. It's getting coins early and frequently. How? Mining. Mining gives you coins. Early Bitcoin adopters built their wealth by mining, and big banks and investors keep doing it, expanding their wealth and squeezing you and me out. Also, traditional mining comes with massive upfront hardware costs and sky-high electricity bills. But there's a better way. Meet Texit Coin, a new decentralized coin mined in Texas.
All right, we are back with the I Am Love Builder Show, Casper and Cheryl, and we are answering your questions today, both for couples and for singles. All right, we're going back to the singles now. This is an interesting question. So how do I stay patient while waiting for the one? How do I stay patient?
Well, my answer to that is be busy.
Well,
be busy. Live your life.
Live your life, right? Just, if you're Christian, I think there's a biblical solution. So Paul talks about this. I can't remember if it's in the book of Acts or Romans or whatever, but he talks about the fact that, look, if you're single, you're actually in the best position as a Christian single, because you can focus all your efforts and time on the word, on the Lord, on spreading the message, the gospel, and all that stuff. You don't have distractions. Right. But if you're not Christian, then, the same thing applies, really.
Just be busy.
Just be busy
live your life
and doing something positive, right? Volunteer at some of the different nonprofits and things like that, right?
Hospitals and nursing homes. Find a group to be a part of, a book club,
a hobbies,
travel club.
Yeah, I mean, you're single, you're footloose and fancy free, right? So just enjoy life,
right? Yeah. And he or she, you will find them, or they will find you. There will be a connection at the appointed time.
Yeah, the one will be hopefully doing the same thing you're doing, right? And they're out there living their best life, and that's when you've found the one, because when Cheryl and I first met and got together, I wasn't like sitting on my couch just saying, looking for the one. Maybe she's out there. Yeah, you got to be out there, right? You have to be not available as in hanging out.
Yeah.
But you have to be open to be spoken to.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. So I would just say be busy. If you don't have any hobby, get a hobby. Because who knows? In one of these, in your busyness, that's when you might stumble across him or her.
Yeah. And I know you were busy. I had to chase you down.
Yeah, I was busy. No, I was not sitting at home waiting for or looking for the one.
And even when the one showed up, she still was like,
I was like, well. I don't like him. But 23 years later, it's still good.
There you go. Yeah. So I would definitely be working on living your best life you can. Right.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Next question.
Oh, you want to go to the next one?
Yeah. That's all I got to say.
So you got on that, huh?
Yep.
Okay. Should I date someone who doesn't share my faith?
That's going to depend on you. Now, I can't answer for you, but I can answer for me. No, I should not.
Well, I mean, you're starting out the gate already with some challenges.
Right. But it all depends on what your heart's desire is. I wanted someone who can walk the same path that I was on. I wanted us to be on the same path. I didn't want someone who was walking his spiritual pathway over here and I was walking mine. So it depends on what you want. That didn't work for me. And I was old enough and mature enough and aware about myself enough to know that wasn't going to work for me. That's not what I wanted. So that would be only my answer to that question.
Yeah.
So what is your answer to the question? How diverse, how different is that other faith?
Well, and one of our listeners was talking about the Mormon and evangelical kind of connection. And so it's not a deal breaker instantly, but it really depends on the individuals.
Yes.
And I know this is more of a traditional thought, but sometimes the wife is one faith and the husband's another faith. And when they get married, the wife kind of adopts the husband's faith. But I've seen it the other way around too, where the husband adopts the wife's faith. So it can happen and work, but you have to be intentional about it and you have to think about it before.
Right. How important is it? How different if you are Christian, born again, spirit-filled Christian, and they are Buddhists, how does that work for you?
Yeah.
If they're atheists, how's that going to work for you?
Right.
What it's going to depend on you. What do you want? Like I said, I wanted someone on the same path with me. That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
So what do you want?
Yeah. So to talk about, should they date someone? I think, going out on a date.
Dating may not be a problem because you might find out maybe you guys are just going to be best friends.
Right.
And I'm not open to learning about other people's faiths. But if if this is going to be if we're going to do life together,
right.
I want someone on the same spiritual path as I. Now, my friends, that's different. Now, you could be Buddhist, you could be Muslim, you could be. We're friends. We're hanging out, having a good time.
Right. And we don't know in this question if they're actually asking with the intention of being married or whatever.
Well, the only problem with that is that if you're both single, what happens if the relationship evolves to now you're not just dating, but you're dating each other exclusively? Now you might want to take another look at this and see how's this going to work for you.
Right.
And if it works now, is it going to work 5 years from now?
Right.
Because maybe now you're both at a spot where, okay. And 5 years from now, you could be at a totally different place where now it's more important to you.
Yeah. It just depends on their level in that faith. If they're going to prayer 3 times a day and so forth, and then you get into a serious relationship and you're like, well, I want to go to the movies, and they're like, well, I got to go to prayer. And then, I want.
Or we don't go to the movies.
Yeah, we don't do movies or whatever. Yeah, there's all kinds of.
Yeah, it depends. There could be a lot of spokes in that wheel.
yeah, a lot of spokes turning. Yeah. All right, we're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, we are going to answer. I think this is our last segment here to answer questions. So you are watching I'm Love Builder Show with Casper and Cheryl, and we're going to be right back in just a moment.
Winning with Love, episode 5, season 6, number 2.
All right, we are back with the Love Builder Show, Casper and Cheryl, and we are answering your questions for from both couples and for singles. So our singles, they got a double header on that last one. We got 2 questions out of the way.
Okay.
But we're back to the couples now, and this question is, how do we handle differences in parenting, finances, and faith?
Oh, my word.
Yeah, that's
all of those in one? Whew.
They're getting the money's worth on that one.
Okay, so first of all, you probably should have talked about this when you were dating.
Right.
Let us begin at the beginning.
If you got differences in parenting, you should have met the parents before you met the parents to see how they parented.
Right. You all should have talked. If you have children involved, this is going to be a mixed family, then you needed to talk about this long before you got married.
Yeah, for sure.
You also need to talk about finances before you get married.
Mm-hmm.
And what was that? Faith.
Yeah,
oh, see, all of that needs to be discussed before you get married. I mean, you go out day 1, you go out and have your first date. By day 3, we need to start talking.
Okay. So, but let's say they're already married.
Okay.
Right. And we know couples that actually are having problems in all these areas who are already married.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you handle the differences in parenting after you didn't talk about it before, but now it's starting to really bubble up?
Well, I would say you need to be open-minded. Both of you have 2 different parenting styles. You need to be open-minded.
Yeah.
It can't be all your way. It can't be all his way. Maybe it's the same thing I say about family traditions. Maybe you need to come up with
your own
way.
Yes. Yeah, your own. Yes. It could be a blending of the 2, right? Yes. Because it's not, more than likely, neither one is bad. It's just that that's how they did it, and this is how you do it. Now you need to figure out how we do it.
Right.
Right. What are we going to do?
And you have to be open-minded. You cannot be dogmatic. You can't dig your heels in and, this is the way I do it and that's it. And you got to be willing to be flexible and to change.
And for me, the biggest thing is both parents need to be on the same page.
Yes.
They need to be united because the children
they're on the same page.
They're going to get what they want.
And they are here to work your nerves.
And you need to be united so that you can deal with that.
That's right.
Right? Because they will play each parent off the other. Dad won't let me do it. I'll go talk to mom, or mom won't let me do it. Yeah. They said, well, dad said I could do it.
Right.
I said, really?
Or you go, well, what are you doing? Well, I thought, teenager, where you going?
Yeah.
I'm going out with my friends. Dad said I could go. Yeah. But you asked me first and I told you no. Yeah, but I asked Dad and he said yes.
Yeah. I'm like, and then the mom goes to the dad. So why did you tell them they said that you said they could go? So I said, all right, if mom says, hey, I'm fine.
Well, he asked me. I just thought it was okay. Well, you didn't talk to me about it. So see, these are things that you all need to gotta discuss. You gotta talk, gotta communicate, be on the same page. Yes.
Yeah. And when it comes to financing, you really need to really talk about it ahead of time, obviously, but you need to have a budget and need to decide who's paying what. or
And you, again, my words are the same. Be open-minded, be flexible, be willing to change,
Yep.
be willing to listen, and establish a new way how you two are going to do it.
Yeah.
And then the two of you come into agreement and stick with it. And you got to be willing to collaborate, because maybe he wants to do the bills or whatever, it's this way, and you want to do it that way. You just can't keep a standoff.
Right.
You got to say, okay, let's try it your way. You got to be willing, let's try it your way for the next 3 months and see how that feels.
Right.
And then we'll come back and revisit.
I call it plan, do, review. Plan it, do it, review it. If it didn't work, then plan it, change it up. But just keep those lines of communication open when it comes to that. When it comes to parenting, financing, and faith.
Faith is the same way. You got to be open. You can't, since you're already in it now, you didn't talk about it beforehand. So this is where you got to listen to each other, hear each other's hearts, and find some common ground.
Yeah. Now, if you need help, let's say you're already married and these things are starting to bubble up to the surface. We have tools. We have free tools that you can access to help you in these tense moments of communication, help you communicate better and start to resolve these issues, because we teach all the time in the beginning of your relationship, or maybe into your relationship, you may have all these issues that keep building up and they never go away. They just kind of go off to the side or they go under the rug or in the closet or whatever, but they never go away. And if you don't deal with them, they add up and add up and add up. And then that turns into extramarital affairs, drinking, whatever.
Fussing all the time in the house. Arguing, the house becomes the home environment becomes toxic.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have tools that you can access in our Love Hub, our free MVP Love Hub. All you have to do is go to IamLoveBuilders.net and click on the hub. There's a link there that says join the Love Hub or whatever. It's free. Right. So yeah, that's how you deal with that.
Be open-minded.
Yep. All right. So we are done for today. We want you to become MVPs. So most valuable partners in your relationship. We have found over the years that if we can help the wife become the best wife and the husband become the best husband, when they come together, now they got something powerful. That's why we wrote the book, Mastering Adam, Mastering Eve, and Mastering Adam and Eve. And that's why we have the book, Divorce Proofing Your Marriage. All these resources and tools, a lot of them, like I said, are available for free in the Love Hub. So you need to go there right now and just sign up for it.
Right now.
Yeah.
IamLoveBuilders.net.
And you know what? At the end of the day, if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. We'll see you guys on the next show. Bye-bye.